Hi everyone and welcome to this tutorial. This episode will be on color by scale proximity using Tyflow. So from our last video we created this rippling effect that changes based on the proximity of a box that was created. You can see the cubes changing sizes. So what we want to do now is how can we color these based on that scale. So if we open up Tyflow again, the one we used previously, and we have our previous settings that we all created. And if we add in custom properties and add that right underneath birth surfaces and let it load, this one takes some time, you may want to save. And we go to timing, change it to continuous. Let that load. And then if we scroll down, we can change the custom float data. So instead of by value, we want to look for scale magnitude. And once that changes, we'll name the channel and we'll just call it scale and then hit enter. And this will save these settings that we'll use for other inputs into Tyflow. Once you press enter, let it load and save in. You can see it loading down the bottom. And now after that, go underneath scale using tab and type in mapping. And then again, change the timing to continuous. This can take some time again. This can get quite beefy, this program now. And instead of mapping from objects, we want to map from custom float, which matches our custom properties settings. And once that loads in, if we click the V, we can see our saved setting of scale. So if we click that, and then that will change the mapping data and base it on the custom properties. And you can see now that the color has changed on them. So what we can do if we go to customize, show editors and material editor, or you can open it using M. We just want to create a basic material. So what we want to do is open up, we just minimize Tyflow, and what we want to do is we want to open up a basic PBR material. We'll just use a spec/gloss. And if we scroll down earlier, we want to add in a, sorry, I just need to find it. Scroll down quite a lot to gradient ramp. And what we can do is we can start to edit the gradient colors on it. So we'll just use these three. So if you double click on the arrow, and we can just pick a color. So say we do red, and we go to the N1 for the gradient and make it more of a pinky purple color. Something like that. And we can just delete this middle one for now. And you can play with the scale of it, but you know, red might not work so well, so let's just try a blue. So you can just see the difference a little bit more. And we connect that up to the base color map. If we just let's minimize this tab slightly, and we scroll over, we find our Tyflow icon, go back into the material editor and right click at the top and apply material. And you can see that now that's starting to change the effects. And what you want to do as well is make sure it's show shaded material in viewport and realistic material, depending on how you're rendering and videoing this. And now that that's done, we can just minimize the material, open up Tyflow. What you want to do is enable normalize values. Once that's done, you can see it will start to change, but what we do need to change is the minimum and maximums to make sure that it's actually flowing through properly. And so obviously the max value is 100, which is too large for what our model was. So if we change it to something really small, like 0.09, let it load, and you can start to see that the colors have changed. So we'll just change the plain color so it can be seen clearly. We'll just change it to a black, or you can again assign it through the material editor. And you can see that the colors are changing based on the scale proximity. So the smaller colors are going down into the right, and then it ripples back out. Now this is quite beefy and can lag your computer, so the video frame rate isn't so good, but that also does depend on your PC settings or laptop settings. And again, you can go through the material editor and say you're not happy with the colors. What you can do is click on here and you can change the materials and it will update in real time. And you can play around with this. This is more of the fun part and testing it out. So something like that, and you just see it a little bit differently and change it however you like based on your frames. Now if we just click through it, we can try to go through the different frames and you can see that the colors are changing based on that. So if we click play, you can see that as the cubes go down into the bottom of the ripple, that they become darker and then become purple at the top, because they are the larger cubes based on that box that we set earlier in the previous video. So I hope you enjoyed the video and thank you for watching.